Alright, so let's further work on our straps here. I'm gonna go ahead and select the strap. And I'm gonna select the buckles that came with it, that comes with it. I'm just gonna select all of the components here for the vest area, just to make sure that we have everything that we need. And selecting this. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm actually selecting the low poly mesh, and also the buckles. Shift H. Alright, perfect. And I'm looking at this here. I need to extrude the edges around this area so it looks like it's holding onto the buckle. And also I want to make sure that in front is turned off. There you go. Okay, you can hit the tab key. I'm gonna go select the edges here. I'm gonna press E, right click, go to move. I'm gonna set to local. Let's see. Yes, I'm gonna set it to normal. I'm gonna move it. And while we're here, look like we still have shrink wrap turned on. So I think for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this. While we're extruding, we don't want any issues. So the mirror is still on, so that's great. Alright, so like this. Okay, and then press E, right click, and then just go ahead and move it down. And I think this here, I need to make sure in front is turned off. There you go. I'm gonna go to scale and scale it and rotate, scale it up. Okay, and probably extrude it up some more. Move it like this, rotate. And just gonna move it this way. And then just gonna scale it in the Z direction. Okay. And also we have to do it in the same part here. We gotta go ahead and make sure it looks like it's actually holding on to the buckle. So same thing, we have to extrude it. And I'm looking at the buckle here. It looks like we gotta flip the normals. Let's go and select the buckle, hit the tab key, go to face, select the faces. Oh yeah, and we gotta make sure. I believe this has the mirror. Yeah, we have the mirror there. So we gotta do it on this side, select the faces. And we gotta go to mesh and flip the normals. Alright, and I think that's good. Alright, so now it looks normal, the buckle. Alright, back onto the strap. Here we go, press E. Go to edge, E, right click, and go ahead and move it. A little bit more. And I think I could go ahead and scale. Rotate. Alright. And E to extrude. I'm going to move it all the way up. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and rotate it slightly like this. Slightly like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add an extra edge loop right here. And make sure this is not sinking in. Gonna go and move it out. And I think could probably add an edge loop right here. And yeah, go ahead and move it up so it's a little rounder. There's one right here. Move it down. So we got that roundness going. And this one here looks a little flat, so it looks like the buckle sinking in. Add an edge loop, and there you go. And everything that we're doing on one side does it on the other because we do have a mirror turned on. That's perfect. Okay, and I think that's it there. And we gotta add a little buckle here also at the back. I must have missed that part where I am supposed to duplicate the buckle in that area. And I think I'm supposed to have a buckle here in this area also. Must have missed adding a buckle here. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to select it. That's what it is. But yeah, it looks like I do have a buckle there. And I do have a buckle here. I just forgot to select them. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and... So I got this mesh right here. So for the sculpting part, I could just go ahead and delete that. I don't think for the buckle, for the straps here, we could just delete the mesh because we don't have a lot of details here anyways, and we don't need to project the details that we have here onto the strap. But for the body of the character and the face, like the face of the character, we definitely have to project the details that we already have onto our low poly mesh. Same with the shirt and the pants. We have a lot of details there, so we have to project the details and use those details as much as we can. Yeah, but for this, we don't need that. And I think for this one, I have to turn off in front. Yeah, and I could delete this. Delete that. And I don't need this either anymore. Goodbye. Right, I think things will be a lot easier to find with this here. And I think I need to... Yeah, this one I have to flip the normals also. So I'm going to select everything for the mesh, for the face. Normals, flip. There you go. And yeah, this one here, I'm going to go select all the faces, mesh, flip normals. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and select all the things that I need here, including the buckle area. And I'm gonna go ahead and Shift H. Yeah, it's a good thing to know that I already did the buckle there. But yeah, I could go ahead and you could go ahead and fix this part here also. So remember, we want to make sure that it looks like it's holding on to the buckle. So we could go ahead and extrude it out. This. And I'm gonna go ahead and scale it to just kind of flatten that and rotate and extrude. And I'm just gonna go ahead and rotate this way. Lift it up. I'm gonna go ahead and add another one here so it's not so flat. I'm gonna like lift that up. And one here, and just gonna move it down. Okay, and same thing on this side. Gonna go and double click, press E, and move that out. Scale it, rotate. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and extrude it. Extrude. And just gonna rotate this way. Move it. Go. Slowly rotate. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this curvier. Look like it's sticking out, so I'm gonna go add another edge loop right here and just gonna move it this direction. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up. Alright, I think that's great. And looking, this part is looking good, so it looks like it's holding on to the buckle. Putting on the buckle. And everything that we did on one side, I did it on the other, which is perfect. That's the power of having the mirror modifier turned on. So I'm just double checking everything. Okay. And I want to make sure. So I think I forgot to select something. I'm going to go and select this here. Shift H. Isolate it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this as in a new layer. Press M and new collection. I'm going to put straps LP. Alright, and press OK. Okay, good. And show everything. Right, and I'm going to go and select all of these that's in the straps LP. Along with this here. Shift H. I'm going to put this on the straps LP also. Press M. And I'm going to put in the straps LP. Alright. And yeah, we can go ahead and add a shell modifier to this. Not shell modifier, but a solidify modifier on that. Give some thickness to it. Solidify. And let's mess around with the thickness. Maybe I could set it to 0.04. 0.1. 0.2. Okay, we want to also look at this, make sure there's no overlapping here, or minimal overlapping. If there's a little bit of overlapping, that's okay. You could always go back and adjust the vertices or the faces. But we don't want too much where it's hard to deal with. And while I also want to just like look at the body and the geometry here, make sure everything is good. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, maybe might be a little too thick. 0.12. Alright, it's great. And I think we could also do this part here. And it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and we could just delete this, I think. Alright. And for this one, we could also add a solidify modifier. 0.1. I want to make sure that this is actually turned off in front. It's turned off. Okay, and I'm going to set this to 0.3. Yep. Yeah, it's looking better. Yeah, I'm going to go and select everything that I have here. Shift H. Alright. You go ahead and I think there's a little bit of issue maybe on this part here. So let's go ahead and tab key. You can go ahead and apply the solidify modifier here. Yeah, let's go and do that. You can go ahead and apply that. See, supply modifier was not selected, but it's okay. I think we might not have any issues with that. Yeah, we still fine. Everything's fine there. Alright, and I think for this here, could go ahead and select the edges here, and it's gonna move it this way, like the edges here. I'm gonna set this to view, right? Move it this way. Then I'm gonna go and select here and here, and just move it this way. When we put this in Substance Painter, we're gonna make it look a lot better than this. Basically, we're going to make it look more like what we see here. We're gonna add some of the laces, the stitches here, and we're gonna make it look like it's more separated. But all that we really need to do right now is try to make it look like the silhouette is kind of different. It's kind of separated from the entire mesh here. So just trying to get the silhouette down is fine. And we could also go to sculpting this, and when we sculpt it, we could add some details on this to make it look like it's separated. So this will make it easier for us. We're gonna be able to save on polygons. Alright, great. And so this one look like there's some overlapping going on here, and it's fine. We could fix that. We could go select the polygon here and up to here. Okay, and yeah, we could go ahead and move it or rotate slightly so it's not sticking out of the mesh. Alright, and it's also doing it on the other side, which is perfect. Yeah, make sure that everything is good there. And looking all around on the buckle area, see if there's more. There's a little overlapping in this part here. Yeah, so this one could go and Shift Z, go select the polygons here. Just gotta move it like this. If it's like this, something like that, and move it out like that. Alright, so yeah, just looking at all the parts that needs some editing and adjusting them as needed. Rotate, and I'm gonna go and select this and rotate, move it, right? So yeah, I think it's just the main parts that we need to double check are the areas where we have the buckle really. And I'm gonna move this way so it looks like it's holding onto it. And maybe add another edge loop here and just move it out. Add that edge loop, move it out. Alright, great. So looking at all the buckle area, alright, around this area also needs to be fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same process of fixing this up. Shift Z, move it down. It's best to fix it now than have a hard time later. And let's look at this area. Move it up slightly. And probably could add another edge loop there. Move it, right? And I think that is it. Okay, I'm trying to see here what is in this. Okay, I'm gonna check what we have here. Okay, so we gotta do something about this part right here. We're obviously missing something there. For that one, I believe we just have to do some extrusion. Could select this here. And we go to our polygon select and select all these. Okay, I think it's best for us to Shift H, isolate that. Alright, select these all around. And we can go ahead and extrude this out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and extrude it in this direction. Okay. Yeah, something like that. You could go ahead and scale. Rotate. Rotate it slightly this way. Move in this direction. And gonna move it down like that. Alright, I think it's better. The way this works is going to, we were talking about technicality here, it's going to go inside the strap there. But we could just kind of fake it because this is not really showing. We kind of just fake it where it looks like it's going inside the area here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move this. And move it closer like that. So yeah, it's supposed to go in there. And a good thing about this, if we take a look, you see how it's not really showing. So not too worried about that at all. But yeah, we could go ahead and select everything for our strap here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a little shade smooth. And could go hit a tab key. You could probably add another edge loop right there. And an edge loop right here. And do the same thing here. Add an edge loop right there. Here. Also here. And here. And I think for this strap here, we're going to need some extra edges. Same here. Extra edges. All right. So we have to do it for all of these. Could add some extra edge loops here. Later on, we are going to be adding some details here, and adding those edge loops will be beneficial because that means the geometry is not going to melt down, which is very important for us. You can also add, yeah, basically around the areas at the ends, just make sure you have an edge loop there. Also here. Here. Looking all around. Probably gonna use an edge loop right there. And let's check this one out. Hit tab key. Alright, let's go ahead and add a shade smooth on this. And we could add another geometry right there. Another geometry right there. And I think, yeah, we could use another edge loop. It doesn't look like, this way it doesn't look like it's gonna melt down. Also right here. Yeah, right here. Alright, perfect. Looking much, much better. And I just want to look here. Alright, so everything's looking good. It looks a lot more crisp. And I think could probably, if we go to sculpt mode, like there's areas here where it looks like there's a little overlapping. So I'm going to go and move that out using the sculpting brush. And for this one, I could probably select this, go to sculpt mode, and just kind of move it like this way. There you go. And I could go later on. I could always go back to, right now I have a mirror modifier, so when I do it on one side, I could do it on the other side. Yeah, later on, when we collapse the mirror, we could do things asymmetrically. Alright, and so yeah, that is it for our straps there.